What should I use with it? Even if there's only a few drops of kerosene, it should be enough to make the lamp work. Now it should light up without problems. Better put the pail back in case I need more kerosene. The tank's full now. That panel definitely powers up the photography set that's outside here. If I could get my hands on it, I could turn on that device. If I get near it, that yokel owner wouldn't think twice about pumping me full of lead. I bet that if I look...
You again, stranger?
I need to take a photograph.
This is a gas station, not a photographer's lab. You need a photograph? Do like everyone else does and go see old Elliot in town. That old half-wit will be more than happy to have a new customer.
I need it now.
And that's your problem, stranger.
I have to go.
Okay.
An iron ashtray. Better turn on the lamp first. A gun with a silencer, the quietest way to take care of certain business. $50. Rye whiskey, me daily dose of happiness. Cigarettes and a lighter. I never leave home without them. Sainte Marie. That's the only thing I can read on this napkin. I can't make out the rest. John Fard, born in Portland, 1898. I'd better remember this. It will be my identity for a long time. An iron ashtray. A few kernels of dried up corn. It fits perfectly. A makeshift cooking range. This idea is so crazy that it might just work.
Damn, Winchesters, here we go again. The lesson from the last time clearly wasn't enough. Hey, you! I know you're hiding in the cornfields. Get out here if you have any guts, you sons of bitches. I'll show you.
Now that the yokel's gone, there's nothing stopping me from using this panel. The photographic set works now. Good. Now that it works, let's see if I can make it as a photographer. I take the photograph and cut it somehow. Before attaching the documents, I hesitate for a second. From now on, my name is John Fard. Sean McClane doesn't exist anymore. Sean McClane is dead. Then I make up my mind and I attach the damn photo. I don't have time to get all misty-eyed now. The documents should be fine now. I can finally get away from this place. I'm in the middle of nowhere with a stolen car and a girl that I don't even know. What a great situation. It's time to go. The car's headlights slice through the dark desolation of Essex County. I look for some landmarks to make the trip less boring, but I can't find anything. There's just darkness around me, and the car whizzes by in the middle of the road.
I'm sorry for the harsh wake-up, Del Nero, but Oscar and good manners never went hand in hand.
I kind of figured that out.
You must understand him. He's been out of the boxing world for too long. When he got diagnosed with a form of mutism, he was competing for the state's heavyweight title. Unfortunately, a rule doesn't allow people with his kind of problems to fight. So he had to continue in illegal joints. People there don't care much about rules. What they really care about is a good show. The first time I saw him fight, I immediately understood that that shabby ring under the stairs of a butcher shop wasn't the place for him, so I took him with me.
From beating people up to killing them. That's a big career move, I'd say.
Come on, Del Nero. We aren't an organization of killers. We follow an ideal.
What ideals? You're just criminals in search of power.
But power is an ideal, Del Nero. Our entire history was shaped by men who did great things in search of power. Do you really think that people like Julius Caesar or Napoleon did what they did for the sake of their people? Man was born to have power, and his entire existence is an expression of this desire. We study to get important jobs. We train to become stronger. We work at companies where we can move up the ladder. All this to have power.
I bet that you spend hours in front of the mirror repeating this little speech.
Del Nero, I just want you to see our reasons. And maybe avoid you ending up like that pathetic excuse for a man, Malone.
Go to hell, you and your reasons.
As you wish, Del Nero. I thought you were smarter, but if you don't plan on telling us anything if we use the carrot... Where is the girl?
Check the nursery schools. They're full of girls.
Why are you persisting in protecting a girl that has been entrusted to you by a man who's betrayed you in the past?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Del Nero, do you really want to die like your pal McClane? Del Nero, where's the girl?
I don't have any girls with me.
You're making me tired. I'm not going to ask you a second time. Where have you hid the girl?
Oh,
What is it, cat got your tongue? When Oscar's done with you, that won't be a problem anymore.
Edward, knock it off.
this voice. I know this voice. It's Victoria. What the hell is she doing here?
Now that the Good Samaritan has arrived, we're all here.
Edward, you're disgusting. When this story is over, you'll answer directly to the bosses for your conduct.
Victoria. How is it possible that she is mixed up in this story? It's impossible.
This disgusting behavior is the only way to get your little friend to talk. It looks like he's having fun playing the tough guy.
I told you that you wouldn't have gotten anything from him.
So how do you plan to figure out where he hid the girl?
Using a little intelligence and civility.
Are you going to get him to tell you where he hid the girl just by asking pretty please?
We don't need him to tell us.
What do you mean?
If, before you started leaning on him, you'd look in his pockets, you'd have figured out where the girl is.
You know where she is?
On the Lower East Side, in a small pub owned by a certain Greta Reed.
Greta Reed.
Dannazione. Greta's handkerchief. They must have figured out from that where the girl is. Greta's in danger. I have to do something, but I can't even talk. That beast has gone to town on me.
Jack, can you hear me? I'm sorry about everything that's happened. I didn't want to put you in the middle of all this, but I didn't have a choice. That girl is too important to us. She has to go back to where she came from.
Victoria, how could you?
I'm sorry, Jack. I'd like to explain it all to you, but there is no time. As soon as we get out of the city, you and your friend will be freed, but don't try to follow us. I'm sorry things went this way. Goodbye, Jack.
Victoria.
Edward, you and your ape can come with me. We have to load the cars. The plane is waiting for us. Hurry up.
Plane? What plane? Victoria, where are you taking the girl?
Del Nero, it looks like you got lucky this time. Your friend saved you just in time. But the next time we meet, I can't guarantee you'll be so lucky.
Edward!
Don't worry, Good Samaritan. I won't do anything to him.
Hurry up. We don't have time.
It looks like we'll have to go now, Del Nero. Let Oscar say his goodbyes.
Ah, my head. I must have passed out for a while. Judging from the light filtering through the windows, it must be at least 6 a.m. Out there, the sun's rising. Some thugs with a love for archaeology are running away with a girl, and I'm stuck here, tied to a chair with a nose that looks like mush. I better figure out how to free myself. It's a steam engine. This steel beast must have some part in the alcohol distillation process. Greta's handkerchief. If I hadn't had it with me, they would have never found out about her. That ogre would have probably beaten me to a pulp, but at least the girl would have been safe. Inside that box, there must be my own things. The shutters are closed, and they'll stay that way, unless I find a blowtorch. It's the distillation system. Sooner or later, I'll buy one for my office. It's the distillation system. Illegal booze, a business from the past. The end of Prohibition convinced all the mob bosses to switch to other types of business. Much worse than booze. I don't see anything that could be useful here. There are some controls in here. steam engine. This steel beast must have some part in the alcohol distillation process. That spinning wheel should be good enough to cut the tape that's keeping my hands tied. Good. I managed to cut the tape that was tying my hands. Now I just have to figure out how to get out of here. Dannazione, my nose. It started to bleed again. If I don't want to pass out like a little girl, I better fix my nose as soon as possible. The gun isn't there. At least they left the most important thing. A drop of rye was just what I needed. It helped with my aching nose, but I still have to try to fix myself up as soon as possible. I won't get too far in this condition. Given the situation, I don't think that Greta will be offended if I use her handkerchief to stop the bleeding. First, I need to disinfect it and find a way to keep it on my nose. If I want to use it to stop my nose from bleeding, I'd better disinfect it first. Sean's rye will work perfectly as a disinfectant. It's Greta's handkerchief. I can't spend all my time holding a handkerchief on my nose. I have to find a way to keep it on my nose. Some pieces of tape that tied my hands together. Tape will be perfect to keep the bandage on my nose. Yes, that should work now. Now it's better, but I doubt that the bandage will hold for long. I must get out of here as soon as possible. Hey, is anybody there?
Hey, investigator! You in here?
John, is that you?
Who you want? Certainly, I John.
How the hell did you get here?
I look for you in Ellis Island, but you disappear. So I go back to your friend in club.
You went to see Greta?
Yes, your friend with the red hairs. But when I get to joint, I see her and girl get in car with same guy I see in port.
Dannazione. They already got them.
I decide to follow the car here, but they stay no long. Man from the port met a woman and two guys. They talked something about ferry that was waiting, and they left.
Do you know where they went?
I don't know. They left half hour ago.
Where are we?
Oh, but you in my town. Chinatown!
Can you find a way to get me out of here?
No, only entrance is this shutter. I can no open.
I'm going to go back to figuring out a way to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm sure that whoever set up this distillery also put in an emergency exit, just in case the police came. These crates contain peat, the combustible used to produce some kinds of whiskey. It doesn't make any sense. Pretty strange thing to find in an illegal distillery. I was sure that there was some kind of a secret passage in here. Part of this panel is burned. The humidity must have caused a short circuit. Rusted hooks and ropes that have seen better days. I'll take one of the ropes. I took a couple. They could come in handy. The dark green color of that water makes me think that it isn't drinkable. Barrels full of bitumen that is now solidified, probably left here for some old repairs. It's so dark in here I can't even see the back of my hand. Welcome on board, ladies and gentlemen. The panoramic tour of the sewers of New York is about to start. It looks like the piping starts from here. No. It looks like the piping starts from here. Fantastic. I wander around the sewers of New York only to find out that the only way to get out of here is a staircase that is impossible to reach. It's the gauge that tells you the pressure inside the pipe. It's near the red zone. Collection Basin 28. According to what's written here, this basin is used to collect excess rainwater. If the pressure in the pipes becomes too high, then the water is deviated into this basin. It doesn't make any sense to me. It looks like some sort of floating bridge. One of the barrels that makes it float seems to have come undone. Unreachable is the right word to describe these stairs. Pretty hard to use a floating bridge when you don't have anything to let it float on. Moreover, one of the barrels is unhooked. It looks like the piping starts from here. It looks like some sort of floating bridge. One of the barrels that makes it float seems to have come undone. Pretty hard to use a floating bridge when you don't have anything to let it float on. Moreover, one of the barrels is unhooked. A couple of ropes. They're old, but still usable. Yes, I think the rope is long enough to attach the barrel to the bridge. It seems to work. I even have part of the rope left. It should work. That crazy Chinese cab driver. He got here following the guys who kidnapped the girl and Greta. Red lanterns. During Chinese New Year, Chinatown is overrun by these colorful objects. I don't have time to wander the streets of Chinatown. I have to find out where Victoria and the others are headed.